Edge comes out and makes a challenge to anybody. I'm dressed. Anybody wants to come out, come on out, answer my challenge. Guess who comes out, Brian? You don't need to guess. You watch the goddamn thing. Lee Moriarty came out.
Yes, he did. I think I'd already forgotten, but yes.
Yes, and they had a competitive match, and Edge won. Obviously, they're not completely insane yet. And I'm not even pissing on the idea of Edge making open challenges. That could lead somewhere if he did this for some period of time, and then the right guy came out and beat him. Especially by fucking him, because Edge is a babyface. But when you send a mid-card, average, blase-looking fucking babyface out to wrestle the babyface main event guy making a challenge, it needs to be quick. I realize what they're doing. Edge now, he's taken millions of dollars from Tony. He's going to finish his career where there's no pressure on him. There's no stress. He doesn't have to make a difference in the numbers. It doesn't matter to these people. They love him because he's a legend. He gets to finish his career with Christian. And in the meantime, he can have some fun, competitive training matches with some of their young talent. Developmental matches, right? Not on national television. If he's willing to do developmental matches to train guys, get a goddamn ring, put it in a fucking warehouse, open up a school, and don't do it on national television with your main event guys, because you ain't got many of them anyway. So now we know that Edge is competitive with Lee Moriarty for 10 minutes or whatever the fuck, and oh my God. So again, if heels came out and Edge beat them, that's fine. It helps Edge. Babyface comes out that nobody gives a shit about because he does nothing and he looks like shit. Just some fucking guy. And then they do everything in the world to each other. You're devaluing your star attraction. You're not elevating your job guy.
Yeah, it's a weird thing they do over there, and you alluded to it before, where it's like there's almost a disregard for who's a face, who's a heel. They just match people up sometimes randomly, or like you said, if it's just because it looks like it would be a good match, but it doesn't really matter who's good, who's bad. I had a weird experience. Well, I had many weird experiences at World's End, but I had a weird experience during the Swerve versus Dustin Rhodes match, which I know you guys talked about. But, you know, Swerve, I think, is great. Dustin has always been great. But that match was a clear-cut Swerve as the heel, Dustin as the face in that match. Just the desperate babyface trying to make the comeback. And that crowd was 100% not having it at all. I mean, they were aggressively against Dustin, poor Dustin. And I think some of that might be the Cody connection. I got a sense that there's some of that bile going on. And
well, they're probably upset because Cody left them. And also, it was a bait and switch match. They thought they were getting Keith Lee, so now it's a substitute match. And also, the biggest thing is Tony's heels are all the most popular baby faces in the company because his baby faces are so feckless, ill-presented, and bland and blasé.
I mean,
the heels stand out as being interesting.
Right. I mean, Swerve can do no wrong. He literally threatened harm to a baby. Literally. And they didn't care. They loved it. And I said to somebody, I was saying a couple of people there, like, this feels weird. Like, this is so surreal that he's clearly a heel and they love him. And they said something to me, which I think summed it all up perfectly. They were just like, you know what? With AEW fans, they just decide ahead of time who they like, who they don't like. And it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how they're booked. It doesn't matter what the storyline is. They just like who they like, and they don't like who they don't like. And you can't change it, and that's it.
And Tony pays no attention to that and just books everybody against each other anyway.
Yeah.